Hello, and welcome to another Monday night stream. Just making sure this is working. Yep, it is. Okay, good. Last week, I hadn't connected the microphone before I started, so I started talking and then realised that no one could hear me. But it seems to be working now. Krogan, hello, welcome. I'm just getting a few things set up here. You excited for the circuit premiere and the imminent return of Thrawn? Of course I am. 1 second. Excuse me. Allergy seems to be playing up this evening. But yes, I know two people who were lucky enough to get invited to an event this evening, and they gave me a non-spoiler review just saying it's very good. So I'm looking forward to seeing the first two episodes myself. Are you excited? Excellent. It'll be very interesting to see what they're going to do with the show and the characters that all started in animation, and obviously Thrawn, who started in the book. I deliberately did not ask if Thrawn was in the first two episodes. I want to find out myself. But 26 hours to go until we find out. Hey mate, I just found out about your channel. I really enjoy your work. Don't give up. Will you make a 1 hour version when everything is done? So I've released the chapters individually. When I got to the halfway point, I did a crowdfunding campaign, which I do appreciate all the support that came through that. And as a reward, I thank you for all that support and everyone who watched the series all the way to that point. I put together the first 16 chapters into a movie edit. So if you look on the channel, look for Heir to the Empire Part 1 fixed. The original one's there as well, but there's some glitches with it. So I did a fixed version very quickly afterwards, just in time for Christmas of that year. That's nearly 2 hours long, and I plan to do the same thing for the second half of the book once I finish it. I imagine that's going to be about 2 hours as well, so the whole thing will be about 4 hours long. Sherry, hello and welcome. Greetings from Brazil. Well, I'm in the UK, so hello to your distant part of the planet. Greetings from America. Ocean Views, it's good to see you again. Alright, so I'm going to get started on this little poster. And I was thinking about what I want to do with it. This is for chapter 27. I know it's skipping ahead a bit, but I've kind of already done the posters for the ones in between. That's great. Wish I could support you as well, but I'm broke. Don't worry about it. The crowdfunding campaign was successful, and it was back in 2021. So you kind of missed it, but don't worry about it. If you do want to continue to support the show, though, and my work, just share it on your social media pages. Tell your friends. Get more people watching it. That helps as well. So, yeah, 27. There's two characters that have a lot to say in it, and obviously Grand Admiral Thrawn is one of them. Do you think we'll see more of the Imperial Shadow Council in the sec, or just Thrawn and Pelion? It'd be nice to see more of the Shadow Council. They probably won't be a big presence though. But it'd be interesting to see Thrawn's reaction to them. I feel like maybe I should watch the Shadow Council meeting again. Not the whole episode of The Mandalorian, just that scene. Just to get in the right frame of mind for it. What's up, nice Thrawn? Hi, crazy. Yeah, that is Thrawn. There are two characters that have a lot to say in this particular chapter, so here's the other one. Bring it around that way. Right, so what I need... What I like to do is have them posed in ways that use poses that are part of the chapter, so I'm just going to get their animation and then find the right pose for them. I just wish Disney would stop killing Luke Skywalker. Really hate them for it. Well, they've got the young CGI Luke. It's a long time before his death. So we may see more of Luke that way. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Oh yeah, I should mention that chapter 24 is finished. It's going to be released on Thursday, which at the time I posted it was the day after the Ahsoka's release. Never mind, they bumped it up a little bit. So that's the next chapter of Heir to the Empire. It's coming this Thursday, 10 PM GMT. I think that's 5 PM EST. I don't think I know all the other time zones that it converts to, but if you'll find it on the channel, it'll tell you an exact countdown to the minute. You ever think about making an outbound flight movie? That'd be fun. I'd get to animate one of my favourite scenes, which is when Thrawn takes out the Trade Federation ship. That was that was really funny. What's going on with Wedge? Alright, fine. We'll oops. I did undo a little bit too much there. Yes, bring him back. Okay. I like the way that Thrawn took on the Trade Federation and basically just trolled them with his tactics of taking over the droid starfighters and then turn them on the Trade Federation battleship. Hoppy, hello and welcome. What made Thrawn your favourite character when you first read about him in the Star Wars content? I do not know. I just really liked his whole attitude and the way of doing things. And his method of leadership, which was to inspire his troops through loyalty rather than fear. I think that's a very intriguing concept, and also learning to study his enemies and figuring out how to defeat them that way. That's the pose I want, so we're going to remove object animation so he doesn't have the rest of his movements. We're going to bring him back that way. Now it's not perfect, but that's alright because we can adjust him. I got a Lego Millennium Falcon set from 2019 on my birthday set. Very nice. That is a good set. Thrawn has a commanding presence in any of his scenes. Yeah, he does. I've seen there's a new Lego set of the Ghost coming out in about a week or so. Do you plan on doing something like this about those comics of Lord Hoth and Darth Bane? I don't think I can tackle everything because there's so much content out there. What I'd like to see is other filmmakers take on other Star Wars stories, and then I can watch them as well. Thrawn went against droids. It was in the Outbound Flight book, which is set just before the Clone Wars and deals with Thrawn before he joined the Empire, and he intercepts the outbound flight, and there's also the Trade Federations present. And the Trade Federation tried to boss him around and thought he was just some kind of primitive local, and it didn't go well for the Trade Federation, is the best way I can describe it. But the way that he did take them on, I just found really entertaining. His helmet is attached to his head, which normally would make sense, but it needs to be attached to his hand. Or just actually doesn't need to be attached to anything, since he's not going to be moving in this. So we're going to bring his arm out like that, and then like that. There we go. Now let's bring his hand in so he's holding the helmet a bit better. I didn't read that. I believe it's just been re-released under the new Essential Legends collection, or at least it's going to be in the next few days. I don't know the exact release date. So it's a good time to pick it up. It works as a nice standalone book as well, you don't have to have read anything else. Darth Vader just taking the lead on homemade Star Wars to inspire others. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have your experience of watching my work by watching other people take on the other stories. Do you think the Empire could have defeated the rebels if they went with Thrawn's TIE Defender? Yes, because the Empire put so much resources and effort into the Death Star that if they'd ignored the Death Star project, especially the second one where the Emperor was defeated, and concentrated on smaller ships like the TIE Defender to take on, you know, the rebels' focus was on starfighters as well. If they'd built anti-starfighter craft, which is what the TIE Defender is, I think the Empire would have won. I need to adjust this strap a little bit. Normally it's fine, but for this particular pose it needs a little refinement. Almost got it. Yeah, that will do. Alright, let's have a look at the chat again. Did the outbound flight happen before the Chiss Ascendancy or during? Instead of? It's in the old expanded universe timeline. Thrawn's still working with the Chiss, so yeah, it'd have to be. Yeah, it'd have to be before, because the Chiss Ascendancy is taking place during the Clone Wars, and outbound flight takes place before the Clone Wars. It's before Thrawn was exiled. Outbound flight hit unabridged audiobook. That sounds interesting. Hello, Big Bird. Let me. I mean, I probably shouldn't encourage alternate methods of finding things, but I'm not going to stop any of you guys from doing that. An Empire Strikes Back crew, I don't even know that guy. Right, so this is going to be the final camera position. Yep, there we go. So let's go back to Thrawn. Now I need to bring his animation in. If I sound a bit stuffy, let me try again. My allergies have restarted playing up in the last half an hour or so. Which is annoying just before stream. I like that. So let's remove his animation. Now we're going to adjust the angle. I don't know why his foot's gone sideways like that. Let's have a look at that to get the main camera view. There are 5 people actively waiting on the next chapter. That's dedication. It'll obviously go up a lot more in the about an hour before the release, but I do admire anyone who keeps it open for the next few days until Thursday. Broken leg. Yeah, I don't know why it does that with some of the motion capture data. I'm not going to bother fixing it though, because you're not going to see his leg in this particular Oh look, his arm's going through wedge. That's alright. Well, we want that about there, I think. So let's bring a wedge around that way a little bit. Nope, hang on. Got to attach the helmet to him. Yeah, if you missed that, his helmet was staying right there in the air as he was moving. Let's attach it to his hand. Okay, now we'll rotate wedge around. Alright. Let's turn Wedge's head a little more towards the camera. Yeah, that's good. Slight height difference between them. Let's raise him up. That's too high. 8. No. 2. Yeah, I think that works better. Floopy, hello and welcome. I don't think I'll be there live for a new chapter. I'll watch as soon as I can. I'm so excited. Well, I'm glad you are excited. And yeah, don't worry if you can't make it a live one. It's still going to be there. I'm busy. I'm good. Busy with medical appointments. I'm glad you're looking after yourself, but I hope the medical appointments are able to help you out. Sorry, obviously it's never fun not being well. I think I want to move wedge that way just a little bit. Yeah. I'll be crying when the movie is done. I'll leave your Thrawn trilogy this week. Well, at some point soon I'm going to have to start reading the next book. What would you think if somebody made an animated series like this about Hand of Thrawn trilogy? I would watch that very excitedly. It's a story I'd like to do, but if someone beats me to it, that's fine by me. Rebel4444, just tuning in, love this stuff. Well, thank you very much. If you haven't seen it yet, chapter 24 is going to be released on Thursday. I'm going to move his hand a bit. That was actually the wrong move, I think. Move his arm up. And his hand down. Not really sure that made much difference, but yeah. Oh, if I. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that looks a bit better. You can have all 3 books animated by 2032. Yeah, if I'm going to do book 2 and 3, I hope I can do it a little bit faster than this one. Alright, let's save my progress here before we continue. Maybe a special edition where you add CGI Jawas. There is... In chapter 2, there are some Jawas. They're motion comics on live as trilogy, but you're the only one alive. action CGI. Yeah, I think I'm the only person crazy enough to attempt this. I'm so glad Ahsoka's coming out early. Was this Tano Tuesday the reason why they're releasing it early? I don't think so. What they did with the other shows is they would release them on the Wednesday, and then the merchandise reveal day was the Monday afterwards, to give people a chance to watch it, because a lot of the merchandise was related to that specific episode. So I guess Tano Tuesday is going to be the following week. I don't know, I haven't really been keeping a close eye on it. I'm hoping we'll see lots of Thrawn merchandise. I'll be buying anything that's sensibly priced. Alright, so what we need next is to adjust wedge, because there's a little bit of a clipping issue there. Now I could edit that in post, but I don't want to. Well, maybe I'll have to, because it doesn't seem to be cooperating. Oh, that's fine, I'll just edit it later. It's only a one still image, so. Special edition Tauntauns. The one per shot first. I could go with that. I'm looking for... Oh, right. It's not going to be there. I'm looking for... So busy thinking about what your guys are saying in the chat. I'm forgetting what I'm supposed to be doing. But that's a good thing. I enjoy chatting with you guys. Right, we need this. I need to remove all scene animation because I messed up a little thing there. Utini. I can't remember what the Jawas said in chapter 2, but they are there. Hand's introduction is on Tatooine, so I did a little establishing shot of Mos Eisley, and I put some Jawas in there to help sell the scene. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate that for reasons you'll see in a minute. Don't worry if you accidentally give Thrawn a moustache or something, we'll only laugh. Well, don't say that, because Floopy here enjoys putting moustaches on characters. I have the book, I'll look it up. When they filmed the scenes in the recent Star Wars shows, they showed a TIE pilot in their cockpit. Do you think they built an actual TIE cockpit for filming the interior? For Andor, yes. with Andor they didn't want to use the volume. So they built sets and practical environments. So yeah, I think they did build a TIE cockpit. The volume doesn't really work for closed-in spaces that tight either. It's best used in sort of bigger locations. Like you can still do interior rooms, but they can't be like cockpit size because I don't think it would really work. At least that's my understanding of the technology. Obviously, I've not actually used the volume or had access to one. It'd be interesting to play around with it. So we have Coruscant. Which I need to flip. There we go. And now we need oh, I know we need stars. Just looking for them in my texture directory, which is quite extensive, so it's hard to keep track of all of it. There we go, that's what we need. Alright, back to the Coruscant images. Let's move it. That one looks better because you've got the light coming from the right, which is where the big gap is. But you can't see its Coruscant because of those clouds. They never made an action figure in the 80s, so when Luke's in X-Wing height standing. I can't believe they never made a Wedge action figure. Obviously they've made them now. When you create your thumbnails in Omniverse, what type of file do you export it as? Will it save as PSD or just JPEGs and PNGs? I export as a PNG and then I do the other editing later on. I wonder if the people who aren't put in the role of the TIE pilots would watch those shows and say to their friends something like, that's me in the TIE pilot, it's me by the way. I would do that, so I hope they do as well. Hey Darth, gotta go, man. My vision's starting to get crazy because I'm tired. Take care. May the throne be with you. Well, take care. Thank you for stopping by. Be sure to check out chapter 24 on Thursday. Move the city over. Problem is, actually, let me turn the characters off because they're. The problem is the edge of the texture is here, so if I move it that too far over there, you can't see it. Let's make it bigger, and then do that. Let's put the characters back. Okay, it needs to be a little bit bigger. Of course, you get to a point where it's so big it gets pixelated, but I think we're okay at the moment. How about that? Excellent. I can adjust it again later if needed. I've still got a little bit more work to do, so I'm going to save what I've got so far. You can see the system now. Cool. Excellent. I'm glad it's working. You could add a wire when crashing into something in the top right corner. Yeah, that's not quite the direction I had in mind. Though I am adding some starfighters. We don't need the landing struts. See, that's a little bit big, so let's shrink it down. That's Wedge's fighter. Any asteroids in that one scene? Well, this isn't for that scene, because that's not until book 3. But that is a okay. Alright, let's go with this one. I don't know what happened there. I saved an X-Wing model into my collection, but apparently I just saved the landing strut and not the whole ship. So I don't know what happened there. Master Luke, hello and welcome. I hope you're excited for chapter 24 on Thursday. Master Luke, he voices Luke Skywalker in the series. let's bring that one forward a little bit. Been catching up on the Ahsoka Clone Wars episodes. That's probably a good idea. I'm afraid I had to limit myself to just rewatching Rebels. I guess maybe I should have done some of those Clone Wars episodes as well, but never mind, it's a bit late now. Let's have a duplicate of the X-Wing. Not behind the planet. That looks pretty good. I think we can squeeze in a fourth X-Wing down there. Not too far down there, because the Heir to the Empire logo is going to go right there, so we don't want to. I don't want to put too much there because it'll just get covered up. There we go. Did you say Dark Force? No, Heir to the Empire Chapter 2. Han is on Tatooine trying to recruit smugglers, and in the establishing shot for my take on it, I showed a bit of Mos Eisley outside. So not Dark Force Rising. Tatooine only appears briefly in Chapter 2 of Heir to the Empire, and then that's it. I think I had it. You should go and check out Master Luke's channel. He's done some excellent work. There we go. Saving that. The Council of the Wills. Good evening. Now I think this is done. Short of, well, all I have to do now is export it to Omniverse. I don't know if I'm going to do that on stream though, because it slows everything down to a crawl when I do that. When I've got this amount of stuff in it. Actually, there is one more thing I need to change, because I see a little issue there with the strap-on wedge's life support jacket. Let's go with 74. Nope. 70. 70. No, okay, so I need to adjust this strap again. Pesky thing. At least I've spotted it now, not after I took ages exporting it to. I say ages, it doesn't take that long, but. Let's have a look. Tiny bit more. That's better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Better save it. We may have to make up some extra Jawa dialogue. I think we might. How did the New Republic deal with worlds that were still loyal to Imperial ideology but were living under New Republic jurisdiction? I think part of it was they didn't go after worlds that were really hardcore, dedicated Imperial. At least not that many of them. It was more a case of, we'll defeat the Imperial forces and you can join us if you want. If you would rather stay Imperial, then we'll leave you alone. Except for probably some strategic planets. Obviously like Coruscant, but that's kind of dealt with in the X-Wing books. As probably the most knowledgeable group of Thrawn nerds on the internet, what are you all looking forward to most in Ahsoka pertaining to Thrawn? That is a really good question. Oh great, when I skim through chapter 2 I hear your voices and see your animation. Well, that's actually a huge compliment, thank you. I want to see some actual ships. You know, I could go with that. It'd be nice to see. Obviously, I don't want to see him. I see a live action just for the first time that wasn't a cosplayer. Obviously, cosplayers do a really good job, but seeing one on film is going to be thrown live on video is going to be great. I'd like to know what he's been doing since the end of Rebels. You ruined me. Good. Yeah, I think it's about 9 years between the end of Rebels and when Ahsoka begins. So it's a long time of not knowing. Obviously the show's going to cover some of that. I hope that Timothy Zahn has secretly written a book about it. And obviously he can't talk about it yet. But it'd be nice if that is something explored in a book, and Timothy Zahn would obviously be the right person to do that. Hopefully that's something that will get announced on one of the Tano Tuesday reveals as the series progresses. Or maybe even on the last one, right, when it's finished. I reviewed the new canon Thrawn book trilogy on my channel. There's a character who took on his wing. You mean Eli Vantu? Ventu? Vantu? I can't remember his last name. It's something like that. Vantu, there we go. Vanto. I don't know where I got the 2 from. Toe. 2. Yeah. In the special edition, maybe a Jawa runs by screaming teeny with a moustache and undies. How do you know Jawas wear undies in the first place? That's everyone's ultimate question. What's Thrawn and Ezra been up to? Yeah. And I know we're probably not going to find out this week. It's going to be something we find out as the series progresses. But I'm excited to get some answers. I hear they're very furry. Yeah, I've heard that too. I mean, under those robes, they could be going commando. can't receive first. Yes, their cuffs and New Hope. I have to admit, I'm not. I didn't look that closely in A New Hope. Next time I watch it again, I'll have to keep a closer look. When I talked to Timothy Zahn, he said that he hasn't written anything new Thrawn books. He also said he knew nothing about the Ahsoka show and wasn't consulted on it. Yeah, so at Celebration, at the Ahsoka panel, it was revealed that Timothy Zahn was in fact consulted on the show. It was probably under NDA, so he had to deny everything. You can't trust him when he says that. Also, last time he came over to London years ago, and it was before Thrawn was revealed in Rebels, and he said he didn't know if there was any plans to do anything with Thrawn or anything. That was a lie, because at that point, because of the time it takes to animate Rebels, Thrawn would have been recorded and a lot of episodes would have been completed. And we know that there's a story that Timothy Zahn was invited to the Skywalker Ranch for a tour, and Dave Filoni just sat him down in the screening room and showed him the first clip of Thrawn appearing, just to get as a surprise for Timothy Zahn. And that would have happened before he came to London and denied knowing anything about Thrawn. Because the Thrawn reveal was about 3, maybe 4 months later. I can't remember exactly. At Celebration in London. And this was not. He didn't come to Celebration London. He came to it was a London Film and Comic Con, which is like a generic Comic Con. Yeah, NDAs. And they have to be taken very seriously because you get fired if you don't. What do you think if Thrawn takes over and convinces a few planets to join him in establishing a new Imperial capital in the Ahsoka show? Well, he's obviously going to have some kind of military campaign. So I imagine he's going to start making his presence felt. Be interesting to see some of that. Exciting week, enjoy it. I agree. We've got 2 episodes of Ahsoka, Chapter 24 of Heir to the Empire. Yeah. Also, we've got Gamescom starting tomorrow in Germany and lots of streams for that. I don't know if we'll get any Star Wars reveals or news from that, but it would be nice if they did talk about some of the upcoming games. I really want to know about the Bit Reactor strategy game. All we know is that they're working on it, and it's made up of people who worked on Civilization and XCOM. So there's all kinds of potential for those kind of games in the Star Wars universe. I quite like strategy games, so it's been a long time since the Empire at War was released, so a new one would be very welcome. I'd like to learn a little bit more about that. Don't know if we will find out about it, but I guess we'll see over the next few days. Of course, Thrawn being in Ahsoka and Gamescom would make nice timing to have a strategy game as well, because obviously Thrawn as we pass that, Thrawn looks a little short in the previews. I've only seen the trailer that was released in April and the Celebration version of that trailer, which is the back of his head, and then the Celebration version is the front of it. You see his face, which is the same footage that was in the trailer that they released about a month ago. I haven't watched any of the other short clips that they've been showing off since. Do you think Zeb will be in Ahsoka? Probably, but I don't think he'll have a big role because I imagine he's quite an expensive creature to bring to life. I have visions of the future. Now that's a good book. So I think Zeb will be there, but not in a big way. He did look really good in The Mandalorian, which is obviously there as a little test to see how well he'd look, and I think they did a really good job bringing him to life. I'm digging through old books I forgot I had. That's always fun though, you get some nice surprises of things you've forgotten about, and then you can read them again. I listened to the unabridged audiobooks for Spectre of the Past and Vision of the Future, and it's been a long time since I read the books, and I've forgotten a lot of the story details, and it was so good to listen to them again, and I really enjoyed that story. Well, I think I might wrap this up now because I've kind of finished what I wanted to do here. I need to render this, which is not really that fun to watch on the stream, and it slows everything to a crawl, so the stream gets very unpleasant, shall we say. Greetings from Quebec, Thrawn rules. Well, greetings from the UK, and I agree. Thrawn is probably my favourite character. And I can't wait to see him brought to life in Ahsoka. So yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you all enjoy Ahsoka. I also hope you all enjoy Chapter 24 on Thursday. I spent a lot of time working on that, and very excited with how it turned out. Maybe you spoke to this before I got here. Could you post an updated progress report for the final chapters? I will be posting an updated progress report soon. I want to make a little bit more progress before I update the progress report, if that makes sense. But yeah, chapter 24 will be released on Thursday. You can find it on the channel. Can I please use this thumbnail for my wallpaper? Of course you can. You know, that actually gives me an idea. Maybe I should release these thumbnails without the text. Because this is obviously tiny. But I could release the original images without the text, and then you guys could use them for wallpapers and things. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, because I need to make a little bit more progress, and then the progress report can be a lot more exciting than if I do it now. That's a great idea. Alright, I'll look into it and see what I can do. I will not be doing it tonight though. I think I'm going to head off to bed shortly. But yeah, that's a good idea, and what I'll do is, once I've put the thumbnails up, I will post about them on the community channel of this community page of this channel, and then you can find a link wherever I end up putting them. And I'll include this one when I finished it as well. So yeah, thank you all for coming. I think I already said enjoy Ahsoka and enjoy Chapter 24. It's going to be a premiere as usual, so I look forward to seeing you there. May the Thrawn be with you. Take care, and see you all again soon. Have a good night. Oh, there's a community page. Yes, if you go to my YouTube channel, there's a link somewhere that says community, and I use it to post news updates, and I haven't posted one for a while, but they call it community page. But yeah, that's it. Good night, and may the Thrawn be with you.